I want to be back where the sun is shining most. I've gotten tired of dealing with lower matters. They forced me out, but I'm coming back, Lord, I'm coming back. I remember this happened to me one time when I was in England. And I was in such glory and such beauty with the Lord. And the woman I was staying in her house kept screaming out, Benny, lunch is ready. Come on. And I'm in the presence of God and I'm crying and I'm in fellowship, but I'm in such glory. I didn't care about lunch. Benny, come on, we're all waiting for you. And I'm just so in such intensity with the Lord. And she kept screaming at me. Finally I said, dear Jesus, I've got to go. And the Lord said to me, another minute, just one more minute. Don't leave me for another. And I saw how he wanted me so bad. And I cried, I said, I promise, I'll be right back, I promise. And I ran down and I ran back into emptiness, darkness, ugliness, chaos. Because in comparison, that world, I did not want it. The meal was good, but it wasn't as good as the one I was having up there. To the natural body, it was marvelous. But I didn't want it. Anybody understands it? Because when you taste heaven, who wants the rest down here? And I promise you, I felt just like this bride. I was eating, screaming, where is my shepherd? I got to go back to the flock. I got to go back to the place of that midday sun where I can experience God's glory. And I left that lady and her, the whole thing. I left them. And I said, did I miss anything? I'm back, Lord. But it took about a whole hour before he came back. So she says, why should I be as one that turns aside by the flocks of thy companions? Why should I leave where you are and go talk to your other sheep that don't care about being where you are? Because that's what happened to me in England. They were all Christians, but they were disconnected. There's a lot of Christians like that. Are you listening? Yes. And you lose the presence of God because they force you into their world. She still calls them your companions. They still belong to you, but they don't seem to want your fellowship. Verse 8, if thou know not, O thou fairest among women, go thy way forth by the footsteps of thy flock, and feed thy kids beside the shepherd's tent. He answers her now. Now he replies and says, if you do not know how to find me again, then you must find your nothingness to experience my fullness. That's a little deeper than maybe you want to go. But can we go there, please? Because she's crying out, I miss you. I was forced out. Just like that woman forced me out in England. I was forced out. I would rather be with you, but sorry, Lord, I got to deal with lower matters because these people just won't let me out. Now when you go back, he's not there. His presence is gone because he's God. And he's not going to wait for you while you take care of the flesh and the world of that flesh. So you got to go back and start all over again. And so what does he say to you? He said, you want to find me? Find your nothingness first and then you will. In other words, empty yourself of the thing that caused you to go down there. He's a jealous God. If thou knowest not, because she just cried out, in verse 7, she said, please tell me, O thou whom my soul loves, where are you feeding? So I can come back there. Anybody listening? He says, if you don't know what I'm feeding, here's how you find it. And he still calls her, O fairest among women. She's still the bride. Go thy way forth. Go thy way forth means return to that place. Oh my Lord, this is awesome. Find that place where you got empty, where you experienced your nothingness. So my fullness was revealed there to you. Because see, he'll not reveal himself till you empty yourself. Jesus says, look, you want me back? Empty yourself. And to empty yourself, you need time. You can't empty yourself in a second. I demand total emptiness, total death. Give it all up. Oh, you can't have me. And then he makes this amazing statement. He says, you must find your nothingness, then you'll find my fullness. You must go forth from yourself. You must be persuaded by your nothingness to experience God. And then he said this, and you must be obedient to what the true shepherds, meaning the apostles and the prophets that have written this book, have said. In other words, I am not going to repeat to you what is already written. You know exactly what to do to get me back. And then this amazing verse just jumps at you. Verse 9, I have compared thee, O my love, to a company of horses in Pharaoh's chariots. This is awesome. What the Lord is really saying is to the bride, he says, you want to find me back? All right. But what I really want is when you find me back, I want you like a horse running towards me. Running out of Egypt, out of Pharaoh's horses. This is how you find me. You were pulled away because of force and pressure by your family. You're looking for me again. All right. Find your nothingness. You'll find my fullness. But I won't accept you unless you run towards me like a company of horses out of Pharaoh's chariots. Meaning, you better hate your Egypt so much that you're going to get on your horse and run towards me as fast as you can away from that Egypt. How many are ready to get on that horse and go? That's when he'll receive you. He'll receive you when you are going to run back to him. Brother, if this is not getting to you, I don't know what else will. And then verse 10, thy cheeks are comely with rows of jewels, thy neck with chains of gold. He is still speaking to his bride, because now she wants him back. He says, your cheeks, which represent your inner life and outer life. He says, when you return again to me, I'm going to crown you. I'm going to crown you. This is why he talks about the neck, which speaks of pure love. I'm going to crown you with myself. You will be most beautiful when you come back. Hallelujah. So now she wants back. He says, all right, you got to empty yourself to find my fullness. You have to run towards me like a company of horses. And when you come back, I'm going to crown you. You're going to be lovely. That's what the word comely means. Even your outer life, meaning your cheeks, will be lovely. And they'll be with rows of jewels, and your neck with chains of gold. I'm going to crown you with myself. You'll be most beautiful when you come back. Oh, this is lovely. And now, verse 11, we will make the borders of gold with studs of silver. And I'm going to add to your beauty when you come back into my presence. I'm going to add to your beauty such blessings. Listen to this. We will make the borders of gold with studs of silver. I'm going to perfect you with submission to me. And I'm going to inlay you with silver. That means that the world, symbolic of silver, the visible world, will see what I'll do with you. So now the bride comes running back. He says, I want to beautify you, but I'm not going to only beautify you, I'm going to add to your beauty, and I'm going to give you submission to me that the world will see. Therefore, next time you won't be pressured to go back into that lower world. Are you listening? Because when he says, we'll make the borders of gold, it speaks about submission to the king, to divinity. Your borders will be within where my presence is. You won't run out of my borders. So you are going to come into submission to me. So next time when you come into my presence, I will add to your beauty submission, so you won't do this to me again. I'm going to pull you deeper in myself, to when someone comes and says lunch is ready, you say, eat it yourself, I'm having lunch.